What we wanted to do today is we wanted to pray. We wanted to come together with that one heart, one mind, and with our people, with our children, and all people in those thoughts. And so I asked my dad to come over here and share some of those prayers, share some of those words of encouragement, maybe share a little bit of his life. So at this time, I'd like to ask Steve Oldcounty if he would come forward. Ahoo.
I like that. I like that because he introduces me as that great man, all that dad. That's pretty common, but yeah. Thanks a lot, James. Sacred Water family has got strength, we've got power, we've got love, we've got happiness, and we've got all of that in our heart and our soul and our mind, and it was brought to us by the backbone of this family, who is my beautiful wife, Rita. 1964, I went to a little group meeting. It wasn't nothing like this, but just a few little guys sitting together. And we were at this park down in Oakland, California. And they were talking about making changes. They were talking about standing up for things. And in those days, I didn't even understand what that was. We just kind of took things the way it was and figured that's the way it was going to be. We didn't know we had a voice. But as time went on, we started meeting other people and started getting together and started fighting for this. So I started fighting for this very cause that we're fighting for today in 1964, and I think it's a damn shame that we still got those things to face. But we do, and like one of our people said, we'll fight as long as we have to. We stood up, some of us, and they decided the best thing to do was to get us out of the system, to get us out of the communities and everything, so they took about 5 of us and they put us in prison. They sicked some guys on us and stuff, and I ended up standing up for myself, and I got 10 years for self-defense. I thought it was supposed to go the other way around, but not for us. So we got in wall, and those guys started talking in there. And a man named Phil Lane came and talked to us. And he said, you know, all that's happened is that you guys got into this battle and all of this fight, and you forgot something. You're carrying all of your weapons, but you're not carrying your pipes. You're not carrying your whistles. You're not carrying your drums. We will survive. We will conquer this whole business in the end, and we will do it behind the power that we receive from our spirituality. We are people of spiritual quality. We live our lives that way. We love this land. We have songs for this land. We have prayers for this land. This land that is as beautiful as you are, that is beautiful as everything that you can see. We are part of that beauty, and we will live that way no matter what. I was sitting in the hole. We started a thing called the Confederated Indian Tribes inside the prison. And that was before we had anything in there. And we asked for a feather. That's all we asked for was a feather, one feather for us to pray with. And again, they came and locked us up and put us in the hole. I was down there in solitary confinement on that restricted diet and all that kind of stuff they try to scare you in. For 3 months. For 3 months, I sat on the floor and I stared at the wall. And I looked up and I said, God, how in the world did I ever let this happen to me? How did I let this happen to me? And that's when Phil Lane got a hold of us. And that's when he started talking about spirituality. We got our pipe, we got our feather, through a lot of hassle and stuff, but we got it. And there were 63 of us in there at that time. And out of that, I think only 3 went back. The rest of us stayed with our spiritual powers, stayed with our spiritual instruments. We started sun dancing, we started sweating, we started doing all we had to do to stay out of that place and to get our life together. And we did that. But I had a lot to live down. As this lady talked about the abuse of women, I am one of them abusers. In my younger days, I used to push the women around, slap them around, take their money and all that kind of stuff. I did all that. I'm no better than anybody else. I laid on these very hills out here blind drunk with the very money that the woman I was with needed to feed her kids with. And I did that. But that's the shame that I live with. I have been with my wife now almost 40 years. I have never cussed her. I have never called her a bad name. I have never struck her in any way. I don't do that. I stay behind what I believe. And I believe that we should not do that. That's what my pipe taught me. That's what my prayers taught me. When I became involved with this Cat Medicine Society, we started working hard on that. We started doing a lot of things. But one thing is that we must always remember to embrace your spiritual life. Hold it dear to your heart. If you're going to make a fan for yourself to pray with, make two and give the first one to a woman. You men do that. Whenever you make something for yourself, to make yourself strong in that way, make two and give one to a woman. It doesn't matter what woman. Just give it to her. Here, sister, I'm sorry. Apologize. Stand up for ourselves. Stand up as good men, as good people, as safe people. My wife is not afraid of me. As she came in one day, I was at the stove tinkering around. And she said, you know, babe, I got to tell you something. And I said, what's that? She said, I'm not afraid of you. Oh, man, I cried. That was so beautiful to hear those words. It's the most beautiful words I ever heard. And we've been together all this time now. One of these days, though, I'll show her who's boss. Maybe not. But we had a lot of good times, a lot of hard times. But I want to share something from that meeting in the park down there in Oakland. And I want to share a little song with you that we sang in those days. They call it the first original AIM song. The AIM didn't start when you think it did. It started in 1492. Before that, we didn't need it. Anybody in here 70 like I am, 70 years old, jump on in. It's a song about the BIA. Sometimes it's hard for me to do that because of the brothers and sisters who aren't with us anymore. And in that, in closing, I would like to say, if we could all just say one big Yahoo for my brother Roberto Maestas. Yahoo!
Thank you, Dad. Really appreciate you. Really love you.